Hi, I'm Sharon Wright.
I'm Haynes, Swider.
We wanted to take just a minute to introduce ourselves, tell you a little bit about who we are, and more interesting, the story of how we met.
So I came as a very shy, fresh-faced, so naive little girl to West Virginia Wesleyan College in the middle of Buchanan, West Virginia, which is in the middle of the mountains. At the time, I think it had maybe 2 stoplights in the town, a movie theater, and a bunch of bars. And that was pretty much it. That was about all there was in that town. So we really were focused on campus life. And when I came onto campus, all I kept hearing was this amazing Sharon Barlow. And I had to meet Sharon Barlow, and I really needed to know about Sharon Barlow. And so I was a little intimidated, to be honest about it, to meet her at first, but certainly she lived up to the hype. She had been so active on campus before I got there. And then we were able to meet through sorority. And just really, I couldn't even believe that she would want to be my friend at the time because she was so amazing.
So Deb comes in, meets me, and we sort of went about our way, through college life. I then took off for a semester in London to work for a PR firm and to take a couple classes, because really wasn't about the classes so much as the experience of working in London for a PR firm at the time. So then I guess as that story goes, I graduated, went off to conquer the world. I joined, at the time, there was no other company for me to join. I wanted to join the biggest PR firm in the world. So it was just a matter of making that happen. So I did 6 internships during college and did walk out of that college with a job offer from Hill & Knowlton, which was at that time the biggest PR firm in the world. And I set off on my path to for world domination in public relations. And then Deb graduates, and I'll let her tell that part of the story.
Well, I would say that I was not as I was not as planned in my career path. Sharon knew, I think, from a young age what she wanted to do, and came into Wesleyan and changed the world at Wesleyan by starting the PR program at our college. Really did focus on what she wanted to do, and it was focused on that. And I changed my mind a couple times and changed my major, actually, and added a major after I changed my major. So just kind of explored the world a little bit more than Sharon did. Ended up getting a master's degree in political science. Decided during graduate school that was not what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't want to sit around the table discussing things that half the people didn't even really understand. So I decided to go to law school instead. And got into law school, felt the need to practice, actually went out and did practice some, and said, this is just not me. This is not what I want to do. And landed in a public affairs firm that did political consulting as well. I've done some political campaigns on the federal level. I have also worked on some national campaigns, have had national television ads, which is pretty fun. It's one of the most fun things I've ever done. But in the meantime, the company that I was working for wanted to join with another company that was to form a bipartisan public affairs company. And I ended up going right back into law, becoming general counsel for that company, and spent about 7 years doing that for that company in Alexandria, Virginia. And in the meantime, Sharon and I had reconnected. We went to a homecoming, was the first homecoming?
It was the first homecoming. This is the part of the story that I think is crazy, but it was the first homecoming that either Deb or I went back for. It was so common, and it is today, to go back for homecomings. And I just was too busy. I was off, conquering the world, and I didn't go back until 2015. And lo and behold, there's Deb.
It was ironic because I had planned 2 homecomings when I was at Wesleyan. It was really important to me while I was there, but it had just never worked out because homecoming landed right before the election cycle, and I was busy during the election cycle, couldn't take off right then to go back for homecoming. So it worked out. The timing was right. We really believe in timing in terms of our relationship and how this has kind of come about. But we got back to homecoming, and I saw Sharon and realized she was in Leesburg, and just could not believe that she had been that close to me all this time and didn't know. I didn't know. So I started my drum beat, and Sharon will tell you it was a drum beat of, Sharon, we really should partner. We really should partner on something. She had an amazing company already and had done so much work in Loudoun County and was so well known, had such an incredible reputation in Loudoun. So I saw the benefit, from my perspective. I was a little selfish because she had already started a good thing. But I felt like by coming in, I could add a little bit more because I have a little bit of a different specialty with coming from a branding and advertising perspective. So bringing that into the PR realm, that felt like it was a good partnership. And I said so.
And as any of you know who have spent even 5 minutes with us, and I know Deb she does not practice law with clients. She cannot give legal advice. However, the perspective is really important. We have clients every day who come to us that might have a wacky idea of something they want to do. And Deb will sort of sit at the edge of her chair and say, well, I'm not your legal counsel. However, I don't think that's a good idea.
Both of us have worked in crisis. Both of us have worked in situations where we need to pivot. We've needed to pivot quickly and trying to come up with campaigns or come up with messaging or come up with ways to PR, opportunities within a crisis. And it aligns us very well in terms of what we bring to the table and the way that we think about things. It's a mindset that we have that pairs very well. And it's been a very good partnership in the sense that in a lot of ways, although we come from different perspectives and we have different things that we bring to the table, we can align fairly quickly in terms of how we should move forward. And we take that strategic thinking and we apply it to the clients that we have. And it's been fantastic. I think it's been fantastic. So,
and I think too, it's helped us to reflect a little bit now that we as a nation, as a world, are finding ourselves in a crisis of epic proportion, one that none of us nor our parents have ever had to weather. We've come together like we so logically and naturally do to pivot our clients. And this is a tough time to be going through something like we're experiencing right now, but it's going to be okay. We're going to weather this storm. We're going to get through it. And we believe our clients will just rise right back to where they were and to greater levels. So thank you for listening to our story and sort of seeing a little bit about who we are as younger women when we first met, and wise and stronger women today. So thank you.
Thanks.